My name is Elena Kritter. I graduated from Lynchburg College in 2012. I played varsity volleyball, and I now work as an actor, director, and producer of theater. I actually was a nursing major at Lynchburg College for the longest time. Then come junior year, I switched majors twice. And when I finally landed at theater, everyone was like, well, yeah, we all knew this. We were wondering when this was going to happen. And so I then began planning, like, all right, this is what I want to do. What's the next step? And so I interviewed with acting studios and graduate programs around the country. And I ended up getting accepted to the William Esper Studio in New York City, which is a acting school. They get listed in the top 25 of top 25 Hollywood acting schools in the country. Yale's on there, Carnegie Mellon's on there, Stella Adler. So after graduating, 5 days later, I moved to Connecticut. I lived there for 4 months, and then I moved to New York 2 days before starting school at the William Esper Studio, and I began really hitting the ground auditioning in 2014, and I would get acting roles in films and in plays, and then, as it would have it, being the person that I am, that I like to involve myself in many different ways, I had a bunch of friends approach me to direct. Opening up directing, which then led to producing, really showed me that I have a skill in multifaceted storytelling, that I'm a very good storyteller. I know how to tell a story, and I know how to create a narrative on stage specifically that can influence the way an audience member thinks, the way they feel, and the way they may interact in the world around them, which ultimately, I believe, the point of theater is the dialogue between what's going on stage and the audience, because if you don't have one or the other, it doesn't happen. You need both of those things to happen. It exists in that in-between. I believe that when it's executed very, very well, it gives the audience a glimpse into something deeply empathetic and deeply human that is able to transcend languages, oceans, bridges, cultures. This place, this form, is a touchstone for me. It's almost like it's almost like a checkpoint where, as you're going throughout your life and you're working with the system, and you have to take a step back from your system and reevaluate the systems you've created for yourself. And so coming back here gives me a real true sense of perspective. It gives me a sense of perspective on my life in New York. It gives me a sense of perspective on myself as a woman, and myself as a daughter, and myself as a friend in the world as well. And so this place, to me, is a touchstone of true values: family, home, love, and the care you give into creating a rooted place like that. This show, Night Witches, that I am executive producing, this is my stamp on the world. This is my calling card, and in a way this is a conglomerate of all aspects of myself represented in a story about how there are a bunch of farm girls building a plane, and they're being physical on stage, and they're being loving on stage, and they're being soft, and they're existing in this dichotomy of humanity. They exist in these multifaceted ways, which I feel is so much of who I am as a person, and that I don't get to see so much in mass media and pop culture of stories, like big blockbuster stuff. And so I think it's just really important for people to see that. And my advice would be this: it's all about collaboration. It's not about competition. Collaboration is going to win every single time over competition, which is so interesting coming from like an athlete, like someone who competes, and I love to compete. Oh my God, I love winning a good game. There is nothing greater than that feeling of just, this is the best feeling in the world, to compete and play. But to go in the long run, so much of theater is about perpetual growth of the self and perpetual expansion of the art and of the language and of the dialogue and of the ideas of humanity. So much of it is about, well, what do you have to say? And hearing that and getting interested in somebody besides myself rather than seeing you as an other. Surrounding yourself with people who support and love your growth, who are invested and in love with you growing into what you want to be, that have your goals within their hearts as well, and not like, how are you serving me, but like, ooh, what are you doing? What you have to offer is so beautiful. I don't want to take it for myself. I want you to share it to the world. My experience with Lynchburg College was exactly what I needed as a student. I remember first going on the campus when I was 17 years old when I first toured it, and I remember walking around on Lynchburg. I met the head of the nursing department, I met the head of the volleyball team, I met the head of the theater department, and it truly felt like a place where I could bring all multidimensional facets of myself to the table, and they would all be nurtured and cultivated and challenged. And that is exactly what happened with my time at Lynchburg, and it's set me up for a way with my life post-college, how in New York City I take on acting roles, I take on directing roles, I take on producing roles. There's many facets of myself that are needed at the table. And so to go through Lynchburg College in a world where all aspects of myself were challenged and nurtured and asked to be given that kind of attention at the same time, that it wasn't just an insular experience of each one, really, I think, gave me the skills I needed to come into the world as a proactive doer, maker, and changer. What makes me so passionate about Lynchburg College is that everyone has a genuine interest in wanting each other to grow and succeed. That genuine excitement and that genuine curiosity and that genuine investment in each other's time, where they spend it and how they spend it, is why I love that college so much.